how to do a Sims 3 to Sims 2 conversion. Some things you'll need are the Sims 3 and TSR Workshop, the Sims 2, SimPE, and Milkshake. Now it's very important to know that you can't just download TSR Workshop from the TSR site, because the version they have up there, last time I checked, was will crash your game, will crash your TSR Workshop as soon as you start it. But I'll give you the link to the correct download to TSR Workshop in the comments. Alright, so once you have all the prerequisite programs, go ahead and open TSR Workshop, and we're going to go to Create New Project, and we're going to go to Object, and Next. And we're going to do a plant today, so go to Decor, Plants, and you can scroll down, and we're going to do the sculptured plant Lilies Kala, which is also called Kala Lilies. Now I wouldn't recommend sharing this on a website or anything, because it's been done ad nauseum by different people. But just for this tutorial, we're going to learn how to make it for the Sims 2. Oh, and you should keep a folder on your desktop called Meshes, where you keep all your textures and meshes and things that you're currently working on. That's a way to keep it all organized, which I like to do. Alright, once it's all loaded in here and you see a picture of it, go to Textures, and over here in this little down button next to the Sculpture Plant Lilies Kala name down button, click that and click Export. And we're going to do the diffuse map, so we don't need to go down anymore. That's how it should be. Diffuse map is what we want to get. And press OK. And then save it to your meshes folder. Now it's important to note that it's currently going to be in DDS format, which is difficult for some programs like GIMP and others to run, and you have to download an extra plugin and all that. But it's just so much easier to go down the scroll wheel, the arrow down button right here, and go to PNG, export it as PNG. And we're going to save it as Kala Lilies. Okay, now go to your Mesh tab and make sure a high level of detail is selected right here, and go to the red arrow to export. And we're going to save it as a wavefront OBJ, wavefront object, and it's going to be called Kala Lilies Mesh, and save it. Okay, now you can close out TSR Workshop because we don't need it anymore. Alright, now open SimPE, and first thing you need to do is go to Extra and Preferences. And it may take a little while to load up. And this step we're doing is just making it so it'll work for people's games that only have the base game. They don't need any expansion packs. But if they do have an expansion pack, that's fine. But we're just about to make it work in people's game that only have base game. Okay, now go to File Table. And make sure include original, include graphics, and include CEP are the only boxes checked. If you have any of these boxes down here checked, you need to uncheck them so that these three at the top, include original, include graphics, and include CEP, are the only ones checked. And then press reload and wait for it to get finished and down here, and then you can press OK. And then you can restart SimPE. Now press start. And mine just loaded up automatically, but yours might take a little while to load up. So we're going to do a plant, so go to Decorative, Plants, and we're going to do the Simulated Succulent because it can only go on the ground. And it only has one subset. So if you wanted it to go on tables as well, you could clone from something like Blue Sky Bonsai. But I'm just going to go ahead and clone from the Simulated Succulent. Click Next, and click Set Defaults in the orange, and click Start. And we're going to be changing the name of this to The Sims 3 Calla Lilies for The Sims 2. And then change the name in the description to whatever you want. The Sims 3 Calla Lilies for The Sims 2. Now you can change the price, but like if you wanted to look at the price in The Sims 3, you could change it to that, or you could leave it the same. It doesn't really matter. But click Finish. And you're going to want to erase Plant Jade and abbreviate it like CLTS2. And press Update and OK. And you're going to want to save it to your documents, EA Games, The Sims 2, Downloads, and save it as Calla Lilies Sims 2. Okay, so that's how you place it in your game. So technically it's in your game, but it's not ready because we have to make some changes and give it a GID and everything. So if you went in your game right now, you might just see Simulated Succulent with a custom content star. So we need to make it to where it shows up as Calla Lilies instead of Simulated Succulent. So scroll down here in the resource tree till you get to your texture image TXTR, and again in the resource list click on Gang Materials and go to Plugin View, and right click on the texture and go to Build DXT and change the levels to like 13 and make sure DTX3 format is selected under format, which it usually is. Sometimes it's DXT1 format, and you have to change it to DXT3. But this is already in DXT3. And sharpen should be none. And open your texture that you saved to your meshes folder. And click build. Now press commit and OK. And we're going to want to delete the shadow. So the texture above it is the shadow, so click on that and right click it and do delete. Now go to the TXMT and delete the ground shadow. Keep the gang, but delete the ground shadow in TXMT. Now go to your geometric data container, GMDC, and the resource list. Now go to your groups tab here and click on ground shadow and press delete right there. Now go to C geometry data container and export your Sims 2 mesh. Now go in Milkshake and go to File, Import, Wavefront OBJ, and import your Sims 2 mesh. Now you don't have to do this, but I'll always do it. Go to Model, select, and delete these two little dots right there. Now go to File, Import, Wavefront Object, and import your Sims 3 mesh. Now we're going to want to find the one that's the shadow. I think it's group underscore 0. Yeah. So delete group underscore 0. And the reason why we imported the Sims 3 mesh over the Sims 2 mesh is because at times some Sims 3 meshes may be in a different position than the Sims 2 mesh. That's especially true with dining chairs and some other things like that. Beds are like that as well. So we want to make sure the position is the right way. And you know, some other things are also wrong. Usually decor is not, but I do it just in case. Alright, so go ahead and delete your Sims 2 group and go to Edit, select all, File, Export, Wavefront Object, and export it over your Sims 3 mesh. Now you can close out Milkshake. We don't want to save because we already exported it. And down here where it says import in the geometric data container, go ahead and import your Sims 3 mesh. And under keep order false action, select the action drop down to where it says replace, and select the drop down to where it says plant jade gang and press OK. Okay, now we see I like to give it a GID based on the poly count because that's a pretty unique number. So the poly count is 764 and the vertices are 824. So, and for my GID, that's what I'm going to put, 764, 824. So press commit, OK, and go to your object data and erase the last 6 numbers, 764, 824. And press update and file and save, and you just made a Sims 3 to Sims 2 mesh. Let's look at the geometric data container before we close out and see that we got everything right. So a quick preview. And we did. It looks perfectly just like it does in The Sims 3. So you've successfully made a Sims 3 to Sims 2 object conversion, and that was a lot easier than you thought it would be, probably. Alright, well, thanks for watching. Goodbye.